If you're moving to the Atlanta area and you're not quite ready for the big city, one area you should look into for a smaller town feel is Avondale Estates. I'm going to walk around this neighborhood, show you the cute homes that are in this area. There's walkability, and if you like breweries, stay tuned because there is a growing brewery district in this neighborhood. So let's get after it. Let's talk all about living in Avondale Estates right now. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome to my channel. If you want to follow along, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be informed of everything here in the Atlanta area. And hey, if you've got questions or you need help with your future home search here in the Atlanta area, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. Would love to hear from you and help you out. Okay, Avondale Estates, it's actually its own city. The population size is just over 3,000 people. And hey, that is like way bigger than the town that I grew up. I grew up in a small town in Kansas, maybe at the most 1,200 people max. So this is like a step up from where I grew up from. But Avondale Estates is a really cute neighborhood. I'm in their little downtown district. I'll walk around that here in a second, but let me put up a map so you can see where exactly this is at. And you're gonna see that this area is kind of far out on the east. It's still ITP or inside the 285 loop, but it's almost right there on the border. It is just 2 miles down from the popular city of Decatur area, so very easy to get over there. Some drive times though for you. You know, if you are going to be working over in Midtown, that's about a 26-minute commute. Downtown, 22 minutes. The airport, 30 minutes. Buckhead is about 30 minutes now. If you work over at Emory, perhaps that is about a 16-minute commute. So that gives you some ideas of your drive times. Now, I will say it doesn't look that far on a map from here to Midtown, but it can take a while just because you have a lot of stoplights and that kind of thing. So just be cognizant of that. Same thing if you're trying to get over into the downtown city of Decatur. If you're coming from the east side and trying to get into the main downtown area, I've got friends that live over on the east side and they're like, Molly, in the mornings it's horrible. The traffic backs up. There's the schools, stoplights, etc. It can be a really slow commute into the downtown area. So just keep that in mind. But I'm right here in their cute little downtown district. It's on the northern side of this neighborhood. You can see that it is a Tudor style influence here with the architecture. And Avondale Estates is actually, the majority of it is in a historical district. I'll tell you more about that later, but let's go take a look at this downtown district and where everyone likes to come grab a bite to eat. Cute little downtown area, right? It has a couple of unique restaurants, and I'm just walking a couple blocks west, and I'm going to hit another area that has been a big project for the city, which is Town Green. It is kind of like the community gathering spot, park spot, and there's more plans in the works. So I'm going to tell you about that here in just a second. But one thing I did want to clarify is that Avondale Estates is its own city. It has its own police force. It does use the DeKalb EMT, so like if you have a medical emergency or need a fire department, you're going to use the DeKalb Fire Department and emergency system. So that's the scoop on that. And here I am pulling up on Town Green. Let me show you that. It is a park that just opened in 2022. It's a nice green space. Of course, I am filming this in the fall, so the grass looks a little dead, but I'm about to shed this jacket because it is starting to warm up. And I'm hoping the sun comes out more and the clouds go away, because it always films better when it's all nice and sunny and pretty for you. But let me show you this park real quick, and I'll tell you about some other developments that are going to be happening here. right, so you just seen phase one of the town green area for Avondale Estates, and eventually phase two is going to roll out. It will be replaced with some live work townhomes, some retail, some restaurants, and they even talked about a boutique hotel opening up here. So this is going to be a great addition to Avondale Estates and really kind of merge the downtown Avondale Estates area with the booming brewery district that is just a couple blocks this way. So I'm going to walk there next. But side note, if you are wondering about MARTA, there is a MARTA station stop here in the Avondale Estates area. There is the train line right there. So just a side note, so if you're looking to commute into Midtown, Downtown, or Buckhead or something like that, you do have that option. So yeah, I am walking what they call the Dale Ale Trail. And you can hit a couple of different breweries. That Wild Heaven Brewery is right across the street from an apartment complex. And yes, there are a few apartment complexes kind of on the outskirts of this neighborhood. So if you like beer and you're looking for an apartment, that could be a great combo, or very dangerous, I don't know. But this area where I'm walking, where there's several different breweries, it's, you know, definitely rustic, you could say, very industrial kind of warehouse style buildings, but it's very artsy too. There's some art studios. There is this new olive and pine food hall that has opened up, so I'm going to go show you that here next. And there's also attached to that a little gym. My friend actually owns that. It is a small gymnastics gym, so if you've got little ones and you want them to get into gymnastics, hey, you are in luck. You've got a gym right in your neighborhood, which is amazing, because I feel like in Atlanta, if you want your kids in gymnastics, I feel like you have to drive 30 minutes and during traffic, and it's just awful. So you got that going for you. So let me around the corner here and I will take you through a quick spin of the Olive and Pint, which is kind of the newest little food hall. I think it's still kind of evolving and new things are popping up in it, but let me show that to you. Okay, so not a lot going on there yet. Clearly, it is still very new, so a lot of shops haven't opened up yet. But did you catch that cute little kids music studio? How adorable is that? Now, across the street, there is Pine Street Market. It's like a butcher shop with really good meats. A lot of stuff is not open today. So if you're watching this and you're like, Molly, no one seems to be out, nothing's going on. Well, I'm an early bird, so I am filming this in the morning time. So a lot of things are not open, like the breweries, and even some of the restaurants are not open on Mondays or early in the day. So yeah, so it's gonna look a little dead, but believe me, there are people out here on the weekends and when the weather's nice, that kind of thing. Let me head into the neighborhood and let's start talking about, you know, where would you live in this neighborhood? What's that look like? I'm gonna go head there next. I'm walking down one of the main roads here in Avondale Estates, Clarendon Road. It intersects with North Avondale Road, which is where all of the restaurants and stuff like that is. So it's just a beautiful entrance. I mean, you get these tree-lined streets, and of course, when all of these leaves fully change colors in the fall, it's going to be really, really beautiful. But it's just a really nice presence. I mean, everyone is taking really good care of their lawns, and you're going to see a mix of brick ranch style. There's some brick Tudor, brick craftsman, a lot of brick homes in this neighborhood. A lot of the homes are older in style. Honestly, the first time I saw Avondale Estates, it really reminded me of Virginia Highland or a Morningside. And you know, if you are craving kind of that walkable lifestyle like a Virginia Highland or an Inman Park, which are some of the most popular neighborhoods for walkability, those are get really expensive. The starting point for a home in those areas could be $1 million. But if you don't have $1 million, but you have something under $1 million, you can get a house here in Avondale Estates and get some of that walkability that you crave. You don't have to spend over $1 million. In fact, the median sales price in Avondale Estates is $750,000. Now, I'd say the cutoff point is around $500,000. Anything below that, it's going to probably be a fixer-upper or borderline teardown. Anything in the 500 to 600 range, it may be a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, or a 2-2, or just needs a little bit of elbow grease and some love. So that kind of gives you your range of homes. And I saw like the most recent sales, or the high sales in this neighborhood, reached up to about 1.2 million. So that kind of gives you your range. I'm going to walk over to the Avondale Estates Park, show you that next. Avondale Park is super beautiful, right? I mean, even in the fall, it has that beautiful playground and the trees that surround this park. Now, keep in mind, this is the fall time, so the pool doesn't look great right now. It's covered up and all that good stuff, but keep an open mind. In the summertime, it's beautiful. Now, you can join this Avondale Swim and Tennis Club. It is a private club, but if you live in the neighborhood, you can definitely join it. I don't think there is a wait list, and they have memberships whether you are single, you're a family, or you're a senior citizen. They have different priced tiers for each of those categories, but they've got, the pool, as you could see, the tennis courts, and they even convert them into pickleball courts if you want. Now, one thing I'll mention about Avondale Estates is they are in the news a lot. So they make some top 10, top 20 lists. So for example, Open Door named Avondale Estates as one of the top 15 family-friendly cities in the nation, and it was actually ranked number 15 there. Now, USA Today, they put Avondale Estates as one of the top 10 small town beer scenes, and it was actually ranked number 1 there. So you can see that Avondale Estates gets some pretty good street cred. While I'm here in the park, I'm just going to cut through the park and make my way over to one of the schools that is in this neighborhood. Stay tuned for that. So while I'm at the Avondale Park, I want to just hop through the back part of it because you're going to come out to the museum school, which is a charter school. It is a lottery system. It's through the DeKalb County Schools. It's a very popular school to get into, but it is a lottery system. Otherwise, the public schools that are zoned to Avondale Estates are Avondale Elementary, which is located in the neighborhood. Then there's Druid Hills Middle and Druid Hills High School. As always, do your research and see which school is going to fit your kids' needs, because even though the online rankings may say it's poor or great, it really kind of depends on what you're looking for in a school. For my first home example, it's right behind me here. This was a 3-bedroom, 1.5 baths, just over 1,600 square foot, sold for $675,000. You know, the rooms are kind of closed off, but they have renovated the kitchen really nicely with light tile and aesthetics, so it looks really good. I do have a feeling that all of the closets in the bedrooms are going to be small. You know, it's just how those older homes were built, but otherwise it's in great condition and a pretty good sized lawn there. So let me keep walking around the corner because there is another green space I want to tell you about in this neighborhood. Yes, Avondale Estates has lots of green spaces, which is a great thing for this neighborhood. And here I am yet in another beautiful park here in Avondale Estates. This one's called Best Walker Park, and you can see it has this nice little walking trail. I see people, every time I drive by here, there's always someone walking on this trail, and this nice little lake here. So it's just a very scenic, serene setting. And check out some of these homes that are overlooking the lake. I mean, just beautiful. So yet, if you're looking for more green space, here's another one for you. So as you can tell, there's a lot of older homes in this neighborhood, a lot of homes with character and charm. I just love it. Now, if you're thinking about buying one of these older homes, you know, I will say they can look really cute on the outside, but on the inside, they can be a little wonky. And maybe you're thinking, well, maybe I'll do some renovations. Most of this neighborhood is in a historical district. So if you're thinking about doing some renovations, some additions, or even just changing out the windows or doors, you do have to get some special permission from the Historic Preservation Commission. So just keep that in mind. Let me walk a little further. I'm going to show you a newer home built in 2014, just so you can get an idea of, you know, if you want something that's newer, kind of the latest and greatest layouts and features and that kind of thing, I'll show you what that's like. All right, and that example is right behind me here. This one sold for just over $1 million, a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, over 3,500 square feet. It has an open layout, a beautiful kitchen island, a screened-in deck porch, a garage, so all of the things you would want in kind of a bigger home. And yeah, just over $1 million. You know, if this home was in Morningside, it'd be like 1.8 million. So, you know, this is definitely a great spot if you are looking for that kind of feel, but not quite that price point. And I would say there's a great mix of people that live here. I've seen all ages that live in this neighborhood, so that is wonderful. Now, Avondale Estates is definitely a pretty neighborhood just to walk around. There's pretty parks to walk to. You can walk to the restaurants. But if you want more of a dedicated walking path, I saw a lot of people on their bikes and they were coming to this trail right here. This is the Stone Mountain Trail. It'll take you all the way out to Stone Mountain. The whole trail is 18 miles long. Now, if you follow this, it goes all the way into downtown, but I will say as you go further into the in-town areas, this path isn't as crisp and clear and dedicated like this. It just kind of turns into a regular sidewalk. You wouldn't really know that you're on the Stone Mountain Trail. But if you're going north, like I'm in kind of the Scottsdale area now, there's a really good path here. So if you like biking, this is definitely a trail for you. Or if you're a runner, you can definitely get some miles in on this path. Okay, let's talk about grocery stores real quick because you know me, I like to know where my grocery stores are. So if you're living in Avondale Estates, the quickest one is probably the Publix just across from the railroad tracks, and there's also a Kroger off of DeKalb Industrial Way. There's also a Whole Foods and a Sprouts over in the city of Decatur area, or you can hit up a Walmart and a Kroger on the southern end of the city there in kind of the Belvedere Park area. But I want to talk about DeKalb Farmers Market. Now, this is like your grocery store on crack. It is like the Disney World for foodies here in the Atlanta area. This is not technically in Avondale Estates. It's just like 1 mile north of where all of the restaurants are off of Avondale Road. I'm not going to go inside because they don't allow photography, but believe me, this is a must stop. You get all sorts of fun foods like produce, fresh bakery items, spices at really good prices, meats, all that good stuff. So definitely stop here sometime. I mean, this parking lot is so huge, like they almost need its own little tram to give you a lift over to the entrance. Now, one tip when you do go shopping here, they do not take credit cards, so bring your debit card or bring cash. That's the only way you can pay. So definitely trust me on this one. You're going to want to stop here. Okay, right on the edge of town, I'm on East College Avenue. You can see there's like a bunch of apartment complexes here, some places to eat. But I have to mention this as my conclusion of this video. The first ever Waffle House was right here in Avondale Estates. It opened up in 1955. Now it is a museum. You can get a tour of it. They only do tours on Wednesdays and you have to book it in advance. You can look it up online. But there you go, guys. That's Avondale Estates for you. What did you think? Could you live here? Could you not? The great thing about this area is that if you get tired of the restaurants here, you're not very far from City of Decatur, where you can eat at a lot more great places. It's just a very cute neighborhood, lots of places to walk to, some green spaces. So I think it's a great little neighborhood. So if you've got questions or you're thinking about making a move to the Atlanta area tomorrow or next year and you need further help with your home search, reach out to me. Don't be shy. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. And if you see me on the wild, make sure you say hello. I love hearing from you guys. Now it's time for me to go get some late lunch. So until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.